Right, Northerners United back again. New show today, Between the Lines with George. How you doing? You alright, son?
I'm very good, thank you very much, Abdullah. How are you? How's your weekend going so far?
Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, weather's not as bright today, but again, can't complain. Can't complain. How about you?
Yeah, nothing to complain at the moment. There's not anything to complain about, is there? As long as
Yeah,
you've got your health, that's all that matters.
that's it. But yeah, this is a new show today, guys. We're going to be looking into the week's events, week's news, picking out our main topics, and going a bit deeper into them and seeing what's really going on. So see today, another 888 people have passed away in the UK, unfortunately. And yeah, the death toll just seems to be increasing day on day. Yeah, what have you made of it so far? I think we're over 15,000 now, aren't we?
We're over 15,000. It does depend whether we are over the peak or not. I believe that the scientists the politicians are advising us that the scientists are being wary about this data and the results that they provide from the data, because they believe that they've already gone past the peak. They're just worried that it takes a turn for the worse, and then it finds out that data in a few days or a couple of weeks' time shows that we've only just gone over the peak later on this month rather than the start of the month. So hopefully we're over the peak, but we don't know as of yet.
Yeah,
What about yourself?
I think we know that obviously that figure is a bit higher. Maybe I think 15% higher than that, because you've got people in the care homes, people that pass away at home and whatnot as well. But also you hear stories about those that have, conditions or even like deteriorations at home, and they're not wanting to go to hospital because of fear of catching it. So yeah, there's a lot going on, but it is a bit of a madness.
Yeah.
But we're hearing that there could be one chief said there could be 6 waves, and told us to prepare for up to 6 waves of the vaccine. What do you make of that?
There's a massive difference. 6 waves between now and say late next year, and 6 waves and 6 months' time. That's a massive difference. So if this is going to have an effect that if those 6 waves were always going to happen, but they've actually delayed it to happen over 18 months rather than 6 months, then sure, that's going to hopefully save many lives. You can't think that it wouldn't have created more than one wave, because as soon as they lift the restrictions on everyday life, people are going to want to go about their daily lives as much as possible within reason, and it's probably going to spread the virus again, unfortunately. Hopefully not too much this time. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We don't know how long this is going to last for. I think for sure social distancing is going to be in place, I think, until at least Christmas. It could be even longer. Because the vaccine, they're saying spring 2021 at the earliest, some people are saying. Could even be 18 months, who knows? But no matter what, I don't think it'll be totally eradicated in society until there's herd immunity or there's a vaccine. So, yeah, what about you?
So 18 months. So that's 18 months. So we're looking at September next year, September 2021. They just announced today, Saturday, that the Olympics can't possibly be seen to go ahead without a vaccine. So Tokyo Olympics may never even happen. Like, who could have thought that 4 years ago? But also, 4 weeks ago, 4 months ago, who knows? But also, if we look at the data, they've stated that some social distancing has to be in place until a vaccine comes around. Now, if you remember, on the Monday, 1 week, so Monday 16th, something around of March, so around about 5 weeks ago, a month ago, the government input social distancing for us to try and reduce the transmission, unnecessary social contact. We've already been doing social distancing for 4 weeks. Now, a lot of people adhered to the rules a lot more the week after when it was under lockdown rather than just social distancing. Now, social distancing could be to the point where everything's open, bars, restaurants, clubs, etc., up to the point whereby we try not to be with people that we don't normally come into contact with, like people we don't normally work with, or people or non-family members or non-very close friends. So, but it could be a lot more, it could be a lot less than that. I reckon that is going to be, the UK government's already advised for us to think about not booking summer holidays. Not booking summer holidays. Like, it's illegal to go outside the country at the moment for all but essential travel. So unless you needed to go outside the UK for medical treatment that would actually help save your life, then I can't imagine another reason for leaving the country, because you might not be able to get a flight, or the other country might not be able to let you in. So at the moment, it's going to be a difficult time for everyone.
And I think with the government as well, obviously one of the main focuses, if not the focus, is the economy and the market, the Conservatives, and it's that timing, because they can't just keep people, well, they can keep people in social isolation, if you like, for indefinitely if they wanted to, but then the economy is going to suffer, and it's that balance between when do you let people out so that the economy doesn't suffer too much, because they can't keep funding the country in terms of the furlough packages and whatnot indefinitely. I'm pretty sure of that. So it's just like they've got to strike a fine balance between that timing of when they let everyone back to normal, and can they even do that? Is it even safe to do that anytime soon? I don't know.
But remember from your point there, they can't do it indefinitely. Fund furloughed staff. Now that wouldn't go with your point of view. For example, the government's going to do it for as long as is necessary. Now, I believe it's going to be a political point, not an economic point, when we reopen the economy. Because if social distancing, if the lockdown was to last 6 months, then that's when we have to have the review in Parliament, where they have to have another vote. Now, if opposition parties to the government don't agree that it should go ahead further, for whatever reason that may be, then the government would have the stark choice of not being with national unity, even though the country might think it's the right thing. Politicians don't believe so, because the politicians are paid to have foresight of what's going to happen in the future. Now, paid to have analysis of foresight in the future, because to the benefit of their constituents. Now, we then have the point where would the government want to not do what all of Parliament wants to do, and would the government therefore spread the blame on having to unlock the country purely because Parliament didn't wholly agree to do so? That's why there should only be opposition to critique the government, not opposition for opposition's sake. No opposition should be demanding that the government unlocks the country if it's not safe to do so.
Yeah, and this is going to be
going to have to discuss that in 6 months' time.
Yeah, this is going to be a big test for the government, and again, it's that fine balance between the economy, the market, and human life ultimately, because you've got one of the chiefs saying that the UK will have the highest death rate in Europe when all this is said and done, and it's a scary thought really, because you think about Italy and the hysteria around Italy when we were like a month behind them, and it was like over here, oh wow, like Italy this, Italy that, look at the numbers over there shooting up, and now our numbers are higher than theirs. So yeah, it's a bit crazy.
Well, their deaths, I believe, are not as high as UK's deaths are not as high as of Italy. But remember, the UK population is about 10 to 20% larger. So yes, the UK might have a greater number of deaths, but it may not have a greater percentage of deaths to what Italy may have. So that's something that in the future will be politically argued about, I'm sure. But if a country has 10 million more people, there's 10 million more people that not only are likely to catch it.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. Obviously, with Italy, slightly smaller population than ours. But yeah, just to finish, just want to pay tribute to all the staff in the NHS, all the doctors, the nurses, the cleaners, all the admin staff, even the ones in the supermarket, delivery drivers, pharmacists. Who else have we got? The police.
Nurses and carers in care homes. All the teachers who are continue to work as to teach key workers' children. Also want to thank everyone for staying indoors, because remember, stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives. But also out there to everyone who may live, maybe living in a place where there is no lockdown or quarantine as of yet. And remember, stay safe there as well, please.
That's it. But yeah, we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis now. So make sure you keep tuned in. Like, comment, subscribe, all that business. We're going to be delving deeper into the week's events. But let us know, comment below on what you want us to talk about, me and George, because it's going to be a regular thing now every Saturday. But yeah, any final words?
Stay safe.
That's it.
The two strongest words is stay safe, stay at home, and of course, as we've mentioned before, we can only hope that this is going to be the story of the century, and that what's remembered from this century is the word stay at home and the little things that help us, etc. Because we can't afford to have anything like this again. We don't want it to ever happen again. It may happen, but we've got to strive for the world to be united and for it not to happen again.
That's it. Well said. Yeah, well, we'll see you again next week, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.